And a very pleasant good afternoon, baseball fans, and welcome to another edition of Henley Baseball today on 104.3 and 960 Sports and on mybasin.com. It is the Skyline Conference regular season finale today as the Hornets are at home. Beautiful roster field on the campus of Henley High School. They'll be taking on the conference opponent, the Phoenix Pirates. Henley entering play 20-3 overall on the season, 15-0 in Skyline Conference play. They have already secured the Skyline Conference Championship. Phoenix already knows that they are bound for a play-in game to get into the state playoffs. All that's left to do is get the ball out there, play 7 innings, and finalize the Skyline Conference standings. Henley leads the pack again 15-0. They're looking for their third consecutive unbeaten Skyline Conference season. They're followed by Hidden Valley, Phoenix, Klamath Union, and then Mazama rounds out the pack in the Skyline Conference. Phoenix again 7-8 in league play, including 3 losses to Henley earlier in the season. We'll flash you back to April 16th, a 17-4 win back here at Henley High School. April 19th was a doubleheader at Phoenix. Culver Fields over there, a 4-2 Henley win, and a 10-5 Henley win was a part of a 13-game winning streak about halfway through the season for the Hornets. Although they had that specific streak ended, they enter play today with a 6-game winning streak that started back on Wednesday the 7th. They beat Hidden Valley 3 times. They beat Mazama 3 times. They are looking to wrap up the regular season at home today with a win against the Phoenix Pirates. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we'll introduce you to the Kyle's Lawn Care starting lineups, along with first pitch right around the corner. This is Henley Baseball on 104.3 and 960 Sports and mybasin.com.
Parent of a high school athlete, I've given up trying to get pictures of my kid playing sports. It's nearly impossible to take pictures and enjoy the game. There is a solution, though. God's Gifts Photography attends high school sporting events in the Basin to take individual and team action photos at a great price. Search God's Gifts 2 on Facebook to learn more. They'll come and capture your athlete in action, creating those frameable lifelong memories so you can watch and just enjoy the moment. Call 541-281-2206 to get your athlete on their schedule. God's Gifts Photography.
Threads. There are many threads that run through our region. There are churches and schools and Little League teams that bring us together and bind us into communities. There are roads and cars. There are houses and jobs and businesses, all woven together to make the fabric of our communities. There are financial threads that are part of that tapestry as well. For over 80 years, it's been our pleasure to be headquartered here, providing financial services to generations of our friends and neighbors. From that first savings account, to retirement planning, and all of the cars and houses and groceries in between, we keep your money local, investing it back into our communities, adding more threads to the fabric to make our communities stronger. Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union. Find your path.
At mybasin.com, we bring you the power of local radio,
the pace and reach of social media,
the information of 24-hour news,
and the excitement of local sports.
We do this with a team of radio professionals that is second to none.
Klamath Falls is a community that we love and a place that we are proud to call home.
Klamath Falls deserves a media group that is as committed to you as you are to Klamath Falls.
mybasin.com is your go-to place for news,
sports, events, and everything going on at home in Klamath Falls.
Josh Eldridge back with you ahead of first pitch between the Henley Hornets and the Phoenix Pirates. Let's go ahead and introduce you to the starting lineups for both teams, brought to you by Kyle's Lawn Care. And we'll start with the visitors today, the Phoenix Pirates. Leading off is their catcher, Connor Cunningham, followed in the order by the second baseman, Sam Schultz. Chris Phillips bats third and is at shortstop. Luke Jennings bats cleanup for Phoenix is at first base. Caden Souza, the starting pitcher for Phoenix, bats fifth. Hitting sixth is Caden Darcy in left field. Caden Cunningham at third base, batting seventh. Eric Calhoun, the right fielder, bats eighth, followed by Luca Petrone in center field, batting ninth. They will go up against Mark Carpenter, the starter on the hill for Henley. The lineup behind him goes like this. After Carpenter, who leads off the Henley order, it's Connor Shively at shortstop. Jacoby Takini, the catcher, batting third, followed by Max Price, the second baseman, hitting fourth. Designated hitter Bo Pyle bats fifth, followed by third baseman Derek Cox hitting seventh. Derek Cox bats 6th. Batting 7th is Corbin Hamilton. Carson Sims in right field hits 8th, and Ryan Douglas, the center fielder, bats 9th for Henley. As we get ready for the first batter in for Phoenix, that would be Connor Cunningham. And he goes up against Mark Carpenter. We'll get you the numbers on Carpenter after the first pitch of the ball game. And we are ready to play ball. Carpenter with the first pitch. It's called a ball low. About 6 minutes ahead of schedule today from Rosser Field. Put a 5 o'clock first pitch time. It is 4:54 local time, 61 degrees and sunny here at Henley High School. The 1-0 is popped foul. The count is even now. A ball and a strike to Cunningham. About as warm as we're going to get today is where we're at right now, 61 degrees, but the sun is shining down, so temperature not going to vary all that much. Just a single game today at Henley High School as the Hornets host the Pirates. Right now it's a 1-1 count to Connor Cunningham, the catcher for Phoenix. Carpenter loops in a breaking pitch that finds the zone. Count is a ball and 2 strikes. Carpenter on the season making his 8th start, his 11th overall appearance. In his 7 previous starts, he is 7-0, and in 47 and a third innings pitched, Carpenter has an ERA of .887. Here he misses upstairs with the fastball. The count is even. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Connor Cunningham. And again, he is followed in the order by Sam Schiltz and then Chris Phillips. Takini delivers the sign for the 2-2, and this one is popped up down the first base side, playable in foul territory. Corbin Hamilton will call everybody off and make the catch for the first out. The Henley defense goes like this with Takini behind the dish and Hamilton at first. Price is at second. Shively is at short. Cox is at third. I believe, is that Carson Pimley in left field? There you go. Pimley's in left. Ryan Douglas is in center. And Carson Sims is in right. Stepping in now is Sam Schiltz for the Phoenix Pirates. Schiltz, the right-handed batter for Phoenix, takes a look at an upstairs fastball for ball 1. Schiltz batting .311 this year for the Phoenix Pirates. Stakini sets up for the 1-0. Here it is. Curveball. Schiltz swings through it. The count even, a ball and a strike. Schiltz was 3 for 4 in the April 19th doubleheader against Henley as he flares one out to center field. The catch will not be made. Shively given a great effort behind the bag at second. Unable to make the catch, though, despite the effort, and a one-out base hit for Sam Schiltz will bring up Chris Phillips. Chris Phillips batting .315 for Phoenix this year. And as a group, they bat .232. The top about 5 guys in the order for Phoenix do most of the damage. So this is going to be the point in the order where you're going to get to Mark Carpenter if you're going to get to him at all for Phoenix, as the first pitch is swung on and missed by Chris Phillips. And Sam Schiltz, who's aboard at first right now, again, like I said, bats .311 on the season. Next best after him would be Luca Patron, who bats $180. So, again, these top guys in the order is where you really want to get it done, as Chris Phillips, behind in the count 0-1, awaits the pitch from Carpenter. First to move over to first, but back safely is Sam Schiltz. Last time out for Phoenix was a 3-game sweep at the hands of Hidden Valley. They lost 7-0, 16-5, and 15-1 on Wednesday and Saturday of last week. As the 0-1 misses downstairs, the count now even to Chris Phillips. Before that, the Pirates had won 6 straight games when they swept Mazama and Klamath Union back-to-back. After Phillips in the order, it's Luke Jennings. Carpenter ready with the 1-1. Here's the pitch. On the move is Schiltz. Takini, the throw down, and they got him. A great throw from Takini behind the plate. And just like that, there are 2 outs and nobody on, and a 2-strike count to Chris Phillips at the plate. Carpenter now, complexion of the inning changes. He can go for a put-away pitch here with Chris Phillips, and he's got some room to work as well in a 1-2 count. Here's the pitch. Curveball looked at for strike 3, and that will end the inning. The Pirates have a base hit, but they can't turn it into any runs. We'll go to the bottom of the first scoreless on 104.3 and 960 Sports and on mybasin.com.
Sports was kind of what defined me as a person. I loved to play every sport I could possibly play. The Abbeys was really the family stomping ground for all of our community. Saturday afternoon soccer tournaments, we'd head over to Abbeys afterwards. And then when we got up into middle school, on our way home, we'd stop at Abbeys after basketball games. When I go home, I want to see two things when I drive through Winston. I want to see my Abbeys, and I want to see my high school. And those are the two memories that stick out the most to me.
As a parent of a high school athlete, I've given up trying to get pictures of my kid playing sports. It's nearly impossible to take pictures and enjoy the game. There is a solution, though. God's Gifts Photography attends high school sporting events in the Basin to take individual and team action photos at a great price. Search God's Gifts 2 on Facebook to learn more. They'll come and capture your athlete in action, creating those frameable lifelong memories so you can watch and just enjoy the moment. Call 541-281-2206 to get your athlete on their schedule. God's Gifts Photography.
Getting ready in the bottom of the first inning. Still scoreless between the Hornets and the Pirates. And the top of the Henley order due up, of course. Mark Carpenter, then Connor Shively, and then Jacoby Takini will go up against Caden Sousa on the mound for Phoenix. Taking a look at the numbers on the year for Sousa. This is his 5th start of the season, his 10th overall appearance. Has a 1-0 record and has 20 innings pitched. In that time, an ERA of 6.6. The right-hander will look to quell one of the top lineups in the 4A today. This is the second time that Sousa has faced Henley in a start this season. Back on April 19th in a doubleheader at Phoenix High School. Sousa got the start, but only managed to throw 2 innings, giving up 2 hits, 4 runs, 2 walks. And his ERA ballooned from 5.5 to 7.2 in that specific game. Since then, it's evened out a little bit for Sousa, and he'll go up against Carpenter to start things off. First pitch to Carpenter, misses high. The count is 1-0. Taking a look at Mark in the last time these two teams met, it was again the second of a doubleheader on April 19th. It took Carpenter a while to get going in that game, but once he did in the 6th inning, added a 2 RBI double, part of a 4-run inning that helps his team to a win. Heading the count here, 2-0. This one he sends high deep to left center field. Moving over is the center fielder, but that one is gone. And a leadoff solo homer for Mark Carpenter puts Henley in front 1-0. Carpenter with home run number 4 on the season and knocking in his 27th RBI. The Henley Hornets lead 1-0. Feels good to get that one on the eve of the playoffs for Mark Carpenter. That is his first home run since April 28th against Klamath Union. And it looks like is there a player down in left center field? Not totally sure there for Phoenix. But Carpenter hitting that one over the left center field fence. You look at the dimensions here at Henley High School, 331 down the left field line, 350 to left center, and 385 to straightaway center field. Probably 360 or 370 for the fence where Carpenter hit it, so about a 385-foot homer or something close to that for Mark Carpenter for his 4th home run of the year. And it looks like whatever player was a little bit banged up out there for Phoenix, looks as though they will stay in the game. Unsure who it even was, but it doesn't look like any changes coming out. It'll bring up Connor Shively with Henley in a 1-0 advantage in the bottom of the first inning. Shively hitting .458 on the season. Bats from the left side, getting ready to step in against Caden Sousa, trying to rally back after the leadoff home run. He does so, finding the outside part of the plate with a breaking ball. Gets ahead of Shively, 0-1. Pitch will miss. The count is even now at 1-1. Shively swings and misses on that one. The count is a ball and 2 strikes. Connor Shively trying to keep his streak of getting on base here alive. Awaits the 1-2. Will take that pitch upstairs. The count 2-2. Coming into this at-bat, Shively has reached base in each of his last 10 at-bats. The 2-2 will miss low. Count is 3-2. Only one of those 10 times was not on a walk. Oh, pardon me. Only one of those 10 times was a walk. 9 out of them was a base hit for Shively. He's been swinging the bat really well. It's the full count on its way to Shively. Line drive right field, base hit, and the streak continues for the Henley shortstop. 11 straight at-bats, 11 straight times reaching first base there for Connor Shively, aboard with a single for Jacoby Tacchini. Tacchini was 0 for 1 earlier in the season when he faced Caden Sousa. Sousa plunked him in the first time around, and then Tacchini would reach on an error. First pitch here misses outside. The count is 1-0 to the Henley catcher. On the season, Tacchini hitting .456. The right-hander awaits the pitch. It's called a strike. Shively on the move. The throw down is not in time. Connor Shively swiping another base. He is now 22 for 22 in stolen base attempts this season, leading the conference in that metric, and he's at second in a 1-1 count. Jacoby Tacchini settles back in. An RBI opportunity for the conference leader in that metric. Tacchini with 33 runs batted in this year. Takes a look at ball 2 that dips below the knees and a bit outside. Around the diamond for Phoenix, Connor Cunningham is catching. Caden Cunningham is at third. Chris Phillips at short. Sam Schultz at second. Luke Jennings at first. In the outfield after this, the 2-1 misses low and away. The count is 3-1. Caden Darcy in left, Luca Petrone in center, and Eric Calhoun is in right for the Pirates. Tacchini will step out ahead of the 3-1, and Sousa, maybe he was the one who stepped off the mound and looked Shively back to second. Quick lead for Shively out there at second. This pitch came in and hit Tacchini on the 3-1. Second time Tacchini's been hit by Sousa this season. Porter Frost will come on in and run for him, as has been typical this year. And Max Price gets ready to hit for the Hornets. That game in which Sousa started for Phoenix back on April 16th, I believe was the date, if I'm not mistaken. Whatever it was. Again, Sousa did not last very long, only 2 innings, but Henley wound up scoring 14 runs in that win. First pitch is an 0-1. 2 runners on and nobody out for Max Price at the plate. Price batting .318 this season for Henley. The 0-1 looked at outside. The count is now even. A ball and a strike to Max Price. Price was 1 for 2 and 1 for 2 twice actually against Mazama back on Friday in the doubleheader. Added 2 RBIs and 3 runs scored across that doubleheader. Count is 2 balls and a strike to Price now. And again, at second is Shively with Porter Frost aboard at first. The pitch is a bouncing ball out towards short. Up with it is the shortstop Phillips. He'll go to second for 1. That's all Phoenix will get. Nice stretch by Jennings to try to get Price, but too quick, beating out the back end. Shively advances to third. Price is at first. Runners at the corners and one out. And in steps Bo Pyle. Pyle, the designated hitter for Henley, batting .343 for the Hornets this year, and just had an outstanding series against Mazama in this last week. Specifically, the opener of the three-game series back on Wednesday last week, where Bo was 4 of 5 with 2 doubles and 5 RBI. First pitch to Bo will have to wait for a moment. Throw over to first, and Max Price is back safely. Pyle also had a really great game in the final one of the series, which was a 2-for-4 performance. He hit a double that knocked in 3 runs and scored 2 runs for himself in that contest. It was probably a little bit of a slump heading into that Mazama series, but I think whatever was plaguing him, it seemed to have snapped out of it in that series. Here's a towering fly ball, shallow left field. That's going to get down behind the third baseman Cunningham and will score a run. That pop fly was hit very tall and just hard for Cunningham to read. So it lands behind third, and a single for Pyle will drive in a run. Henley leads 2-0. Advancing to second is Max Price. Shively scored. Aboard at first is Pyle with the RBI, and in steps Derek Cox. Cox this season batting .379 for Henley in 13 games played. Derek has really done a great job of carving out a role on this team. His first game of the season was April 19th in the doubleheader against Phoenix, partially through league play. First pitch in the dirt, the count 1-0, and a nice job by Cunningham behind the plate. Keep that in front of him for the Pirates. It was in that game that he got his first hit at the varsity level and started his career on a 3-game hitting streak against Phoenix twice and then Klamath Union once, as that pitch finds the zone to him, 1-1. And since then, Derek Cox has only seen his average dip below .350 twice this season. Once at the end of April, and then once at the end of the series against Hidden Valley, and he's since climbed out of that hole, batting .379. Like I said, coming into this one as a freshman, he has been remarkable, and in such a short time, again, it's been a month ago today that he made his varsity debut. He's been playing very well. The 2-1 to him is a line drive to short, snagged by the shortstop Phillips. He'll go get the lead runner for 1, and so Price is cut down, advancing to third. Nice play there by Phillips. If you're going to get 1, get the lead runner. And so runners will remain at first and second for Corbin Hamilton, although this time it's Pyle at second and Cox aboard at first. Hear the roar of the crowd over at the Henley softball complex. We'll do our best to keep you updated on what's going on over there. It's the Skyline Conference championship game between the Hornets and the Pirates over there. Give you details on that in just a bit. But before Hamilton sees the first pitch, Caden Sousa will step off. Henley leads 2-0, bottom of the first inning, and Bo Pyle stands at second. Derek Cox aboard at first. Hamilton still awaiting the first pitch of his at-bat and takes a look at one that dips low and away. The count is 1-0. Corbin this season batting an even .300 on the year. Looking for an early RBI opportunity for his team. Pitch on the way from Sousa. Hamilton takes a look at that one, misses below the knees, maybe a touch outside. The count now 2-0 after Hamilton in the Henley order. Carson Sims waits on deck. Pitch on the way to Hamilton. And Sousa will step off, throw over to second. Bo Pyle back safely without a slide. So Mark Carpenter led off this inning for Henley with a solo home run. Shively singled and would later score. And since then, Henley's been stuck with runners at the corners. This time a pitch in the dirt. Cunningham loses sight of it for a moment, and in the meantime, both runners advance. Pyle to third, Cox to second. And the count at the plate is 2 balls and a strike to Corbin Hamilton. Sousa still working out of the stretch. That's primarily what he does, even with a runner at third. No windup for him. Here's the delivery. That one misses low, and the count 3-1. Still one more game left on the season for Henley after this one. It is a non-league game against Cascade Christian. And I believe that must have been ball 4 to Corbin. He has walked, and the bases are loaded now for Carson Sims. That pitch finds the zone to Sims. The count is 0-1. Like I said, one more game for Henley. It is a non-league game against Cascade Christian on Thursday. That game will be played at Lithia and Driveway Fields. Field number 9 on Thursday at 4:30. Sims hits a fly ball to right field. Calhoun moving underneath it, and he will make the catch to end the inning. The Hornets score 2, but they leave the bases loaded, heading to the top of the second next on 104.3 and 960 Sports and MyBasin.com.
The cars we drive play an important part of our everyday. Whether we're going to work, dropping off the kids at school, or maybe even on that first date. Vehicles we drive play an important role in all of that. And that's why at Klamath Falls Subaru, we are so passionate about getting you the long-lasting vehicle that you will love. When you come to our store, you'll find that every department is dedicated to caring for our customers, which is why I can proudly send anyone here knowing that they will be treated like family. Stop by and say hi. When you come to Klamath Falls Subaru, you're coming home.
Top of the second inning, getting ready from Rosser Field at Henley High School. It'll be the middle of the Pirates' order due up as they trail Henley 2-0. Luke Jennings, Caden Sousa, and Caden Darcy. We'll take a look at Carpenter in his second inning of the start. Carpenter doing some damage with the stick in the bottom of the first, hitting a solo home run. Now he'll look to carry this momentum into the inning on the mound. The first pitch on the way to Jennings is called a ball, misses outside on the curveball, 1-0 to Jennings. Give you a look at Jennings on the season after the 1-0 pitch from Carpenter. Fastball high in the zone, grounded over to third. Cox up with it, strong throw across the diamond is there, and that's the first out in the second inning. So we'll have to wait on a look at Luke Jennings, but we will take a look at Caden Sousa here for Phoenix. Sousa, the second leading hitter on the Pirates, batting .318 this season. 4 doubles is tied for the team lead for Caden Sousa. Carpenter readies for the first pitch. Here it comes. Pitch misses below the knees. The count is 1-0. 1 out, top of the second inning. Henley leads Phoenix 2-0. Pitch on the way. Curveball, nice bender there from Carpenter. The count even now, a ball and a strike. Phoenix will be the third team out of the Skyline Conference this year as Sousa waits the 1-1. A fastball from Carpenter over the heart of the plate. Count is now ball and 2 strikes. Phoenix will have to play in to the 16-team tournament against a number 3 from another conference. And we'll talk about that as the 1-2 misses below the knees. The count is 2-2. So every team, or every conference rather, gets 2 automatic bids to the 16-team playoff. We already know who some of those are going to be. Scappoose will be the league champion out of the Coapa League as the 2-2 on the way to Sousa is a high chopper towards second base. Up with it is Price. Covering the first base bag is Carpenter, and he's there for the second out. Nice job there by Carpenter to get over there and cover for the out. So like I said, Scappoose will be the league champions out of the Coapa League. Still up in the air who's going to get the second automatic bid as Tillamook and St. Helens have still yet to play their final games of the season. Malala is the league champion out of the Tri-Valley Conference. They'll be joined by the Dalles in the 16-team tournament. So the first pitch on the way to Caden Darcy is looked at for strike 1. And so Gladstone has made the play-in round a possible opponent for the Pirates. Ground ball up the middle. Shively plays it on a couple hops. Strong throw in time. And the Pirates down in order. We'll continue to talk about the playoff picture as our game moves along today. As we head to the bottom of the second inning, Henley leads Phoenix 2-0 on 104.3 and 960 Sports and MyBasin.com.
It starts to warm up outside, it's time to tackle your lawn. And Kyle's Lawn Care is who to contact. Kyle's been doing lawn care in Klamath Falls for over 9 years. He offers a variety of services designed to make your life easier. Kyle's Lawn Care offers weekly mowing jobs, which includes mowing, edging, and blowing off sidewalks, snow removal, big cleanup jobs, dump runs, and more. At Kyle's Lawn Care, they strive to give each job their all and go the extra mile to exceed their customers' expectations. To get an estimate, you can call or text 541-281-3623. Kyle's Lawn Care.
Introducing Smith Bates Marcom Solutions, your trusted partner in marketing and communication. We specialize in crafting compelling campaigns, eye-catching graphics, and impactful branding materials.
Smith Bates is like working with dependable friends. They always help us build our professional image.
Through the innovative strategies that the team at Smith Bates suggested, we've been able to give the brand at Calor the boost that it desperately needed.
Unlock your potential with Smith Bates Marcom Solutions.
Getting ready for the bottom of the second inning and due up for Henley in this inning. It is 9-1-2. It's Ryan Douglas, Mark Carpenter, and Connor Shively. It's Caden Sousa ready for the second inning of his start. Henley leads 2-0. Douglas will take strike one over the plate and around the knees. The count 0-1 now to Douglas. Has reached base in nearly every at-bat against Phoenix this season. In 11 tries, he has reached base 8 times against the Pirates. That's not including this at-bat. So whether it's been an error or a base hit or a walk, fielder's choice, Douglas has set the table for the Henley order this season against Phoenix in the previous 3 games in the series. The count 2-2. After that pitch missed low in the dirt. That's the benefit about having a guy like Ryan Douglas hitting 9th for you on this team, is in an inning like this, he sort of acts as a true leadoff hitter. The 2-2 is popped up down the first base line. Unplayable. Will land foul. Count will remain 2-2. Hitting in the 9-hole, Douglas is, I believe, 8th on the team in hitting. Hits .288. Pitch misses there. The count 3-2. Gets on base, a 43% clip. Here he pops one again, foul behind first. Count remains full, 3-2 to Ryan Douglas. Specifically, look back to that last game against Phoenix on April 19th when he reached base 4 times in all 4 at-bats. Here's a line drive left field over his Darcy. That is nearly over his head. Darcy got to that one, though, to put it away for the first out. Back to the top of the Henley order now for Mark Carpenter. It was just an inning ago that Carpenter got the party started with a lead-off solo home run. Good for Carpenter's 4th home run of the season. Bats .459 and takes a look at strike one. Maybe a little bit outside for Carpenter's liking, but that curveball nicely done and broken off by Sousa. And Carpenter awaits the 0-1 pitch. Line drive center field. Patron is going to move over and make the catch for the second out. Now it's Connor Shively who bats for the Hornets. Shively 1 for 1 in this contest. He singled and would come around to score in the first inning on the RBI single from Bo Pyle. The pitch to Shively is a two-seam fastball, runs away from the left-hander. The count is 1-0. After Shively in the Henley order, it's Jacoby Takini. 1-0 on the way to the Henley shortstop. That one misses low. The count is 2-0. Shively certainly be a conversation to be had when it comes to your all-conference selections, as the 2-0 lined foul the other way, count 2-1. Now, Shively was an all-conference catcher last season, all-state catcher at that, but has changed up his position, now patrols shortstop and is making a case to be an all-conference player again at that position. The 2-1 called a strike off the inside part of the plate, the count 2-2. Shively shocked about that strike call, but have to settle back in. Home plate umpire walked right behind Shively to offer up an explanation, but now has to wait for the 2-2, which misses outside. The count is full. But you don't often see a guy who can do it at multiple positions and be good at it. Like I said, Shively being in the all-state conversation at shortstop this year instead of catcher, as the 3-2 was fouled straight back. The count remains full. Keeps his knees bent, a left-handed batter's box. Shively choking up on the bat in the 3-2. Pops one up center field, looks playable for Patron. Moving over to his left, but it is out of reach. That gets down and rolls to the wall and then is booted around in left center field. Shively is going to wind up all the way at third. The throw in is wild. Shively will stay put at third. In a line drive to center field. Didn't think it had all that much carry to it, but it just kept on going, and Patron, who is playing shaded well to the right, anticipating Shively to pull that pitch, just had no shot of getting to one in the left center field gap, and that landed for a double, and then Shively advancing on the error to third. So now with 2 outs, there's a runner at third, and in steps Jacoby Takini. First pitch will be fouled off by Takini. The count is 0-1. Takini was hit by a pitch and then was ran for by Porter Frost, which is what we've seen for the most part this season. Takini in a tall batting stance awaits the 0-1 pitch. Fouls that one straight back. The count is 0-2. By the way, that double for Shively, extending his on-base streak to now 12 consecutive at-bats. That time with the extra base hit, he stands at third. Pitch on the way to Takini is swung on and missed, and that will end the inning. The Hornets get a base hit, but they leave him stranded at third. They'll take a 2-0 lead to the top of the third inning here on 104.3 and 960 Sports and MyBasin.com.
What rhymes with great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start? Here, in the classroom. On the stage.
In the pool. On the field. Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends. Yeah! Be great.
Participate!
At MyBasin.com, we bring you the power of local radio,
The pace and reach of social media,
The information of 24-hour news,
and the excitement of local sports.
We do this with a team of radio professionals that is second to none.
Klamath Falls is a community that we love and a place that we are proud to call home.
Klamath Falls deserves a media group that is as committed to you as you are to Klamath Falls.
MyBasin.com is your go-to place for news,
sports, events, and everything going on at home in Klamath Falls.
Getting set for the top of the third inning, and it's the bottom third of the Phoenix order due up. Caden Cunningham, Eric Calhoun, and Luca Patron. As we get set, Henley in a 2-0 lead over the Phoenix Pirates. Henley looking for not only their third Skyline Conference championship, they've already secured that. They're looking to go unbeaten in 3 straight Skyline Conference seasons. In 23 and 24, nobody in the conference found a way to beat Henley. And through 15 games of the schedule this year, it's been more of the same. Caden Cunningham getting ready to bat for the Phoenix Pirates, getting his first look at Carpenter in this game. Pitch on the way. Line drive or high fly ball left field. That one could be trouble and will get down in fair territory. Big turnaround first. Cunningham will scamper on back, but a perfectly placed base hit behind third base will get Cunningham on to start the inning. Just a high fly ball that was in the right spot. That'll be Phoenix's second hit of the day. And we'll bring up Eric Calhoun. With the runner aboard at first and nobody out, Calhoun steps in against Carpenter. Move over to first and back safely there is Cunningham. Taking a look at Calhoun this season, batting .111. This is only his 10th at-bat of the year. He is 1 for 9 previously. Another move over to first and back safely again is Cunningham. After Calhoun in the order is Luca Petrone. And time is called. We have time. What do we got? Have to do with Carpenter and the way he was stepping on the rubber, perhaps. Here's Calhoun showing bunt. Will pull back on a fastball that misses high. The count is 1-0. Calhoun got his first varsity start of the season on April 30th against Klamath Union. He would later on record his first hit on May 5th, also against the Pelicans. Here he's ahead in the count, 1-0. The pitch. Looked at for a ball below the knees, over the plate, but again it was low. The count is 2-0 to Calhoun. Talked a little bit about the conference outlook here on the baseball end of things. Want to, again, have you clued in on what's going on the softball diamond. We'll figure that out here after the 2-0. Calhoun shows bunt again. This time pulls back, but it's called a strike. The count 2-1. Henley and Phoenix playing in the Skyline Conference League Championship over at the softball field. With a win, Henley would win their 16th consecutive Skyline Conference Championship. Just an absolutely astonishing run for that program. The 2-1 on its way to Calhoun, swung on a miss, the count 2-2. If Phoenix is able to find a way to knock off the Hornets today, that would likely create a situation where there is a three-way tie at the top of the conference on the softball end of things, with Hidden Valley, Phoenix, and Henley all tied at the top. The 2-2 before we get there. Throw over to first. Cunningham is back safely. Count 2-2 to Eric Calhoun. Nobody out and a runner aboard at first. Top of the third inning. Henley leads 2-0. Here's the pitch. Bouncing ball out towards second. Price going to throw on to Shively for one. Shively on the back end. They got him! 4-6-3 double play. And now there are 2 outs in the third inning. Here's Luca Petrone to bat now. And going back to the softball situation, by the way, the score over there, as far as I can tell, Phoenix and Henley are tied at 3. And so still anyone's ball game over there as Luca Petrone gets ready to step in. First pitch to him is a looping breaking ball, called a ball on the outside. Now in the situation where there is a 3-way tie at the top of the conference for softball, that would mean the tiebreaker would come down to the OSAA ranking as the 1-0 misses high, the count 2-0. If it came down to the state rankings, that would actually potentially give Hidden Valley the edge and the top seed out of the Skyline Conference. The 2-0 on the way to Luca Petrone is swung on and missed, the count 2-1. And the reason that is because coming into play today, Hidden Valley is ranked number 7, Henley is ranked number 6. And so you can imagine if Hidden Valley wins and Henley loses, you could theoretically see a world where the Mustangs leapfrog the Hornets. The 2-1 swung on and missed, the count 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 away to Luca Petrone. So an exciting finish set up for the softball season. Again, we'll keep you updated on the score that's happening right behind us. Right now it's tied at 3. The 2-2 is looked at for ball 3 and the count is full. And so back here at the baseball diamond, it is a 2-0 Henley lead. In the top of the third inning, 2 away and a full count to Luca Petrone. The Pirates' order turns over next. Here's the pitch from Carpenter. It is a high fly ball, shallow left field. Pimley having trouble reading it, but recovers in time to make the catch, and that will end the inning. The Pirates down in order in the third will go to the bottom half next. Henley in a 2-0 lead on 104.3 and 960 Sports and mybasin.com.
So lonely, I just sigh and moan. Seems like I've been waiting forever, wondering if you're coming home. I just saw your face, I know you're coming home. I swear there is no place home. And then I heard your voice. I know you're coming home. I know you're coming home.
This is where unconditional love and immeasurable happiness reside. This is home. Coltwell Banker, where home begins.
Bottom of the third inning, it's the middle of the Henley order due up. Max Price, Bo Pyle, and Derek Cox. That's 4-5-6 as Henley leads 2-0 against the Phoenix Pirates in the bottom of the third inning. Max Price getting ready to step in now. The right-handed second baseman for Henley reached on a fielder's choice in the first inning and was out trying to advance to third on a fielder's choice from Derek Cox. But now a chance to start the inning for Max Price. He looks to get it rolling against Caden Sousa in the third inning of his start today. Curveball and a ground ball out towards short. Phillips plays it, and throw on to first is in time. A nice job by the Phoenix shortstop to play a hard ground ball there and record the out at first. Bo Pyle getting ready to step in now for Henley. Pyle 1 for 1 today, an RBI single in the first inning, but he was left stranded at third, wasn't able to get around and score, but has swung the bat well lately. The first pitch to Pyle is looked at for a strike, outer third up around the belt, but that's a strike to Pyle to count 0-1. Pyle bats .343 this season, and as I've said once before, I'll say it again here, the 0-1 to Pyle, that one misses in the dirt, count 1-1. Pyle has as many singles this season as he does extra base hits. 12 singles and 12 doubles or triples on the season for Pyle. The 1-1, swung on and missed. The count is now a ball and 2 strikes. So you can count on that when Pyle makes contact with the ball, he's going to give it a ride. He's also third on the team in RBIs with 25 this season. And again, added one more earlier today. The 1-2 is in the dirt, taken for a ball. The count even now, 2-2. On deck for the Hornets is Derek Cox. Pyle relaxed in the right-handed batter's box, even in a 2-strike count, keeps his hands low and awaits the pitch. That one misses high and the count is full. 3-2. Already one away here in the bottom of the third inning, a game in which Henley leads Phoenix 2-0. The 3-2 on the way is going to miss, slow and away, and Pyle on board with a 1-out walk. And this will bring up Derek Cox. Cox 0 for 1 today, reached on a fielder's choice in the first inning. Wasn't able to come around to score, but getting on base, improving the on-base percentage to 50%. Pitch on the way to Derek here, swings and misses at an upstairs fastball to count 0-1. After Derek in the Henley order, it's Corbin Hamilton. Tall first baseman for the Hornets waits on deck. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Derek Cox. A curveball just misses outside. The count is now even at a ball and a strike. Tough pitch for Derek Cox to lay off of there, but a nice job at doing it. Started over the plate and a little bit above the belt, but as it broke, kept running away. So Cox laid off. This pitch is a High fly ball, shallow center field. Might not even leave the infield. And in fact, it doesn't. Chris Phillips makes the catch behind second base for the second out. So now with 2 away and a runner aboard at first, here is the aforementioned Corbin Hamilton. Without an official at-bat yet today, Hamilton walked in his first plate appearance back in the first inning. Bo Pyle, they're going to check on him at first before the pitch to Hamilton. Pyle dives back safely. Now Pyle, look at the numbers on the base paths for him. He's a threat to steal, sure. He's 10 of 11 on stolen base attempts this year. He is third most steals on the team. And again, 90% success rate for him. The pitch to Hamilton, blocked by Cunningham, and he kept it in front of him, not allowing Pyle to move anywhere at first. And a good read there by Bo on that pitch in the dirt, not trying to advance on a nice job by Cunningham behind the dish to keep it in front. 1-1. Hamilton awaits the pitch. Here it is. Swung on and missed. A fastball on the inside. Throw down to first to try to backdoor Pyle. He's back safely. Count 1-2. That was nearly trouble for Pyle down at first. And another good idea by the catcher, Cunningham, behind the dish. Saw that Pyle's secondary lead was fairly aggressive and tried to punish him for it, but a nice job again by Bo to slide back safely. The 1-2 once more. Bouncing ball towards short. Phillips backhands it. Throw across his body, across the diamond, is in time. No! They're going to say he pulled his foot at first. Oh, man. Going to try to get some help out there for that one. The Phoenix Pirates fans unhappy. Hard to blame them. That was a close play. The throw was in time, no doubt about that. But they're saying Jennings must have pulled his foot off of first. That allowed Hamilton to be safe. And they're going to get together for this one. I think this one has a possibility of getting overturned, but we'll see. As the Phoenix infield discusses things on the mound, Coach Bill Hutchinson of the Phoenix Pirates returns to his post in foul territory. We're going to see exactly what this play is and how it's going to be scored. Umpire still discussing it. Let's see, here they go, and it's safe. Hamilton beats out the back end of well, I guess it wasn't a double play. That's just probably an error, I suppose, by the first baseman for pulling his foot. Hard to score that one. Regardless, Hamilton winds up at first. I suppose might as well just give him the infield single at the end of the day. Bo Pyle advances to second, 2 away. And now it's Carson Sims to bat for the Hornets. Here's the pitch. Sims hits one high in the air, left field, in foul territory. That one will get out of play, and Sims will head back with an 0-1 count. Sims 0 for 1 in the contest today. Flew out to right field in his only other at-bat. But hits here again with a runner in scoring position in Pyle, and one more out there. It's Corbin at first. Sims, who bats .421 this season, looking to knock in a run for the Hornets. Here's the pitch. The 0-1 is in the dirt, blocked by Cunningham, and the Hornets will stay put at first and second. Count is a ball and a strike to Sims. After Sims in the Henley order, it's Ryan Douglas. Sims keeps his hands low in the batter's box, awaits the 1-1, and before he'll get it, Sousa will step off and take a look at Bo at second, who gets back safely. It's the second baseman, Schultz, trying to keep him honest out there, but a fairly aggressive lead off a second there for Bo as he gets halfway down the line, and this one gets by the catcher, Cunningham. Both runners will advance. And now 2 in scoring position for Carson Sims in a 2-1 count. Sims this season has 7 runs batted in, although hasn't had a ton of opportunities at RBIs this season. Typically a table setter, but now tasked with finishing the job. Here's a ground ball left side. Phillips gloves it. He's not going to have any chance at beating Sims down the line at first. And an infield single, and they're going to say Sims was out. He rounded first, and he is going to be tagged out. And a run does score, though. An RBI single for Sims, and tagged out on the bases will score Henley a run. 3-0 Hornets lead as we go to the top of the fourth next on 104.3 and 960 Sports and mybasin.com.
Threads. There are many threads that run through our region. There are churches and schools and little league teams that bring us together and bind us into communities. There are roads and cars, there are houses and jobs and businesses, all woven together to make the fabric of our communities. There are financial threads that are part of that tapestry as well. For over 80 years, it's been our pleasure to be headquartered here, providing financial services to generations of our friends and neighbors. From that first savings account, to retirement planning, and all of the cars and houses and groceries in between. We keep your money local, investing it back into our communities, adding more threads to the fabric to make our communities stronger. Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union. Find your path.
Back with you in the top of the fifth inning, a game in which Henley leads 3-0. So far for the Hornets, they have scored their 3 runs on 6 hits. They've committed no errors, and Henley has left 5 runners on base. So far for the Pirates, no runs on 2 hits, 1 error for Phoenix. They have left no runners on base so far. Again, our score 3-0, top of the fourth, and it's the top of the Phoenix order due up in this inning. Connor Cunningham, Sam Schultz, and Chris Phillips will have a second look at Mark Carpenter. Here's the pitch, a curveball that will find the zone, the count 0-1. Carpenter leaving that curveball probably a bit higher than he would have liked, but he'll get it across and in the zone for strike 1. His timeout is called by the hitter Connor Cunningham. He'll step back in. Cunningham 0 for 1 in this contest, a fly out in foul territory his first time around. Here he takes strike 2, another curveball there from Carpenter. It's the top of the Phoenix order that's going to have to get it done against Carpenter today. The 0-2 is fouled back into the glove against Takini. Strike 3 in the first out in the fourth inning. And here's Sam Schultz batting now for the Pirates. Bats .311 this season. Gets on base 40% of the time. That's what Phoenix needs right now is base runners against Mark Carpenter. The best you can hope for is to try to get Mark to feel uncomfortable out there. And once he does, there's a chance that he'll offer up a couple fastballs, just kind of get over pitches that if you wait on him and you recognize him, teams have given Carpenter small fits of trouble this year. It's not been prolonged. It's not been often at all. But that's how teams are going to have to get to him if they are at all. I mean, you look back to one of the earlier meetings between these two teams this season. And the game that Carpenter started was a game, I recall, in which Phoenix... Actually, I looked through it. I don't think Carpenter's pitched against Phoenix this season except in relief as I look over my notes. Yeah, Carpenter's only pitched in relief against the Pirates, so not really a ton of opportunities to see him this year. The 1-2 is a bouncing ball back up the middle, and that's going to get through into center field. Looked like a base hit. They're actually going to score an error against Max Price, and so reaching on the error is Sam Schultz. And that will bring up Chris Phillips. My vision was sort of blocked over the second base bag there, so as where I thought it was a base hit, Price must have bobbled it to some variety or something of that nature to earn the error. But regardless, Schultz is aboard at first as Chris Phillips steps in now for the Pirates. Carpenter takes a look at the runner before coming set and delivers the pitch. One misses low, maybe a touch outside. Count is 1-0. As we were talking a couple innings ago about the outlook for the Pirates, the season will not be over. Phoenix will play for their playoff lives against another number 3 team from another conference in the play-in round. The 1-0 move over to first, back safely is Schultz. Like I said, it could be Gladstone. You could see Staten, although I think a likely opponent for Phoenix would probably be St. Helens or Tillamook, one of the higher-ranked number 3 teams out of the OSAA rankings. The 1-0, a nice strike curveball from Carpenter. The count even at a ball and a strike. Now, Phoenix is ranked number 19 in the state, according to the OSAA rankings, which would put them at the second lowest ranking among third teams into the playoffs. The 1-1 swung on and missed. The count is now 1-2, which means, again, Phoenix would likely play one of the higher seeds, someone like Tillamook or St. Helens. I think Gladstone or probably those 3 teams would be the likely opponents for Phoenix going into the play-in round. The 1-2 on its way to Phillips. Carpenter delivers. It's a bouncer foul down the third base side. We'll do it again. Now, Henley will likely play one of those play-in teams in their first round as the number 5 team heading into the rankings and a chance to maybe jump up into the top 4. That's where you'd like to be. The 1-2 is a bouncer back towards short. Shively will take it to second himself for 1. The throw on to first is in time, and a 6-3 double play will get the Henley Hornets out of the inning. They will take a 3-0 lead to the bottom of the 4th. Back after this on 104.3 and 960 Sports and mybasin.com.
Sports was kind of what defined me as a person. I loved to play every sport I could possibly play. The Abbeys was really the family stomping ground for all of our community. Saturday afternoon soccer tournaments, we'd head over to Abbeys afterwards. And then when we got up into middle school, on our way home, we'd stop at Abbeys after basketball games. When I go home, I want to see 2 things when I drive through Winston. I want to see my Abbeys and I want to see my high school. And those are the 2 memories that stick out the most to me.
As a parent of a high school athlete, I've given up trying to get pictures of my kid playing sports. It's nearly impossible to take pictures and enjoy the game. There is a solution, though. God's Gifts Photography attends high school sporting events in the Basin to take individual and team action photos at a great price. Search God's Gifts 2 on Facebook to learn more. They'll come and capture your athlete in action, creating those frameable lifelong memories so you can watch and just enjoy the moment. Call 541-281-2206 to get your athlete on their schedule. God's Gifts Photography.
In the bottom of the 3rd inning, it's Ryan Douglas who leads off for the Henley Hornets. They lead 3-0 in this inning. It'll be Douglas, then Carpenter, then Shively due up for Henley in this bottom of the 4th inning. Talked about it a couple times today. Want to give you an updated score from the softball game going on, the Skyline Conference League Championship game between the Phoenix Pirates and the Henley Hornets. It looks like the game is still tied at 3, and they are in the top of the 4th inning. We'll keep you updated on that one as we move along today at Rosser Field. First pitch called a strike to Ryan Douglas. He is behind in the count 0-1. Douglas 0 for 1 in the contest, flew out to left field in his first at-bat. Here he takes a pitch wide. The count is even, a ball and a strike. Douglas, an opportunity again to lead off the inning, much like he did in the second, although this time he gets on base. He got plunked on the second pitch he saw, and he will wind up at first. Leadoff base runner in for Mark Carpenter. That is the second batter that Sousa has hit today. And timeout, and looks like we're ready to play now. Runner at first in the first pitch to Carpenter. Let's see. Timeout again. And now we are ready to play. About a 3-step lead for Douglas off of first. Sousa delivers to Carpenter. Ground ball, hard hit down to third and through Cunningham's leg and into left field. And Carpenter will reach on an error. Douglas advances to second, and Shively now batting with 2 on and nobody out. Shively is 2 for 2 today, a single and a double, and a run scored for him. After Shively in the Henley order, it's Jacoby Takini. Sousa comes set. First pitch on its way to Shively is a two-seamer that runs away. The count 1-0. Well, so we get underway with the at-bat with Shively with 2 on and nobody out. We've talked at length about who Phoenix may face in the play-in round of the OSAA playoffs. The 1-0 on the way to Shively is hit foul. The count even now, ball and a strike. Also want to give you an idea of what the outlook is for Henley. And although they still have one more regular season game left against Cascade Christian on Thursday, and they have to wait for the results of the play-in round, you can sort of start to get an idea of who's going to be in those play-in rounds and who will get seeded against number 5 Henley. And this is if they stay at number 5. And you look around and you say, well, Tillamook and St. Helens, one of those teams could be a good opponent for Henley, is the 11th and 12th best. They're right in that neighborhood of being matched up with a 5 seed in a 16-team tournament. And, no apologies there. The count of ball and 2 strikes to Shively. We'll resume that thought in just a moment as Sousa set with the pitch. Here it comes. Two-seamer runs away. The count is again even at 2. I think depending on what happens with a school like LeGrand, could see them in the mix as well. The number 2 seed out of the Greater Oregon League. But those would be the teams that would likely face Henley. And as I do the math, if they stay number 5, they will miss having to face one of the play-in teams more than likely. They will get whoever the automatic bid is as a number 12, which would be one of the 2 seeds coming out of another conference. To 2-2 on its way to Connor Shively. Nobody out and 2 on. Here's the pitch. Hit the opposite way. That's going to get down in left field. Could be extra bases for Shively. Douglas is going to score. They're waving Carpenter around as the throw into the infield is a wild one. Shively, round second, heads for third and safe. Henley leads 5-0 after the 2 RBI double from Connor Shively, advancing to third on an error from Phoenix. And again, 5-0 our score. Henley leads. Jacoby Takini bats now with the runner at third and nobody out. Shively now reached base in 13 consecutive at-bats. That time adding a couple RBIs as well. Still nobody out for Takini. As he gets his first pitch in from Caden Sousa. That one misses low below the knees. The count 1-0. Oh, count is 0-1. Pitch below the knees, an outside call to strike to Takini. He'll have to settle back in. Here it is. That one misses upstairs, no question. The count is even, a ball and a strike. The playoffs, just to finish that thought, by the way, about the postseason, which lies ahead. The first date of the playoffs, which again would likely be a home game for the Hornets, would be May 27th. It's the first round of the 16-team bracket. All the quarterfinals are played on May 30th. The semifinals are on June 3rd. And the state championship games are on June 7th. It's a 2-1 count to Takini. Rolls one, fair down the third base line. Charging is the third baseman, Cunningham. He'll throw on to first in time, but a run will score as Shively touches home. And Takini awarded with the RBI on the ground out. Henley now leads 6-0. If there's any silver lining, though, now the bases are empty for Max Price's at-bat for Caden Sousa on the hill. One away in the inning. And again, finalize the thought about the playoffs one more time for those who may be unaware. The state championship games, which will be played on June 7th, are played at Salem Kaiser Volcano Stadium, where the single-A affiliate, I believe, for the Diamondbacks plays. Might be the Giants, whatever the Volcanoes are an affiliate of, one of those NL West teams. The 0-1 is a curveball hit down the third base side. Cunningham knocks it down, has trouble coming up with it, and just that split second will be enough time for Max Price to beat out the single. Going to give Price the single here on the scoreboard. And so I suppose I'll give it to him as well. Reaches first there with one away, and Bo Pyle to hit now. Pyle is 1 for 1 today. Move over to get Price at first. He's back safely. Pyle singled in a run in the first inning, and he walked and would come in to score in the third inning. Right now, Henley leads Phoenix 6-0, bottom of the fourth inning. That pitch in the dirt, Price on the move. The throw down and safe. Price slides underneath the tag and is in safely. Bill Hutchinson up out of the Phoenix dugout once more. And this is going to trigger another conversation. He's been dissatisfied with the umpiring on the base paths today, and we'll see if anything changes here. And Bill Hutchinson saying, that's now 3 calls you guys have missed. I got to say, he might have a legitimate gripe on some of these, although it looked to me, at least on this most recent one, that Price slid underneath the tag and is safe at second with 1 out, and the count is 1-0 at the plate to Bo Pyle. Sousa steps off and will throw over to Price. I suppose throw over to Schultz, who's keeping Price honest over there at second. No tag applied. Price is back safely. And so Sousa has to refocus on Bo Pyle at the plate. The 1-0 is taken in the dirt. The count is 2-0. Already 3 runs home for Henley in this inning. 2 of them were knocked in on an RBI double from Connor Shively. 1 more scored when Jacoby Tacchini grounded out. He's been the only out so far in the inning as Pyle fouls off the 2-0. The count now 2-1 to the Henley designated hitter. Pyle got a little playtime on defense in the series against Mazama, where he really broke out of his midseason slump. The 2-1 on the way to Pyle. Sousa, high leg kick as that pitch misses high. The count is now 3-1. Pyle does seem to hit a little bit better on occasion when he is getting some play out on defense, but Henley has such a plethora of good infielders that they can afford to just let a guy like Bo Pyle swing the bat, and then he'll obviously be in the lineup when he pitches as well. As he takes a walk here on the 3-1 count, the pitch missed low, and that will bring up Derek Cox. Second time Pyle has walked today. Max Price remains at second, 2 on and 1 out. Tall batting stance for Derek. He's 0 for 2 today. Reached on a fielder's choice in the first, flew out in the third. First pitch to him here is going to miss low. Throw down to first to try to get Pyle, but he's back safely. That's a risky decision for Cunningham to try to throw to first on that play when you've got a guy like Price sitting out there at second. They make another throw to first like that, and you could see Price on the move to third. And regardless, the count is 1-0 to Derek Cox at the plate. Sousa back on the rubber, awaiting the sign from Cunningham behind the plate. Pitch on the way. Curveball, ground ball to the left side. Third baseman Cunningham eats it up, and bases will be loaded for Corbin Hamilton. Price advances to third, Pyle to second, and Cox reaches on what will be scored as an error. And Corbin Hamilton bats now with 1 away. Hamilton 1 for 1 in this contest. He walked in the first. He singled in the third inning. First pitch on the way to Hamilton here is a 2-seam fastball that ran back over the plate. The count is 0-1. Nice pitch by Sousa to get this at-bat started. Price is aboard at third. Pyle at second, and Cox is on third. Sousa set with the 0-1, and he'll step off before the delivery. After Hamilton in the order is Carson Sims. He'll hope to bat with a few runners on base if Hamilton can come through here in a big spot. The 0-1 on the way to Corbin. A breaking pitch. That one will miss low and away. The count is even now, a ball and a strike. Sousa's been throwing that outside breaking pitch to the righties today, trying to get him to chase, but they've done a good job of laying off it. Credit to Henley's patience at the plate. The 1-1 from Sousa. Here it comes. That one, another breaking pitch, is popped up in the air, foul territory behind first. The first baseman, Jennings, will move over to make the catch for the second out. And so now with 2 outs and the bases loaded, for the second time today in the same situation, it's Carson Sims. Sims is 1 for 2 today. He singled in a run in the third inning. He popped out in his previous at-bat in the first. Sims awaits the pitch from Sousa. That one will be in the zone. Over the plate around the knees. Sims behind in the count, 0-1. After Sims, if the inning continues for Henley, it would be back where this whole inning started with Ryan Douglas on deck. Here's the 0-1 to Sims. That one misses wide, the count even. Sims batting .421 this season, the sophomore. Looking to add a bit of insurance to his team's 6-run lead here in the fourth. Sims will take a look at ball 2 as it misses outside. Count 2-1. Quick check of the score over at the softball complex. It looks like Henley has taken a lead as they are up 4-3 after the fourth inning. In this one, they lead 6-0. The 2-1 on the way to Sims. It's a high fly ball towards the right side. Could be in fair territory. The first baseman, Jennings, has a bit of trouble tracking it, but it finds its way into his glove for the third out. The Hornets score 3 runs in the inning on 3 base hits, but they leave the bases loaded. They'll carry a 6-0 lead to the top of the 5th inning. Back after this on 104.3 and 960 Sports and MyBasin.com.
The cars we drive play an important part of our everyday. Whether we're going to work, dropping off the kids at school, or maybe even on that first date. Vehicles we drive play an important role in all of that. And that's why at Klamath Falls Subaru, we are so passionate about getting you the long-lasting vehicle that you will love. When you come to our store, you'll find that every department is dedicated to caring for our customers, which is why I can proudly send anyone here knowing that they will be treated like family. Stop by and say hi. When you come to Klamath Falls Subaru, you're coming home.
Getting ready for the top of the 5th inning between the Hornets and the Pirates. Right now, Henley leads Phoenix 6-0. So get ready for the top of the 5th. Want to remind you, this half inning brought to you in part by the Pacific Power Foundation, who donated nearly $70,000 in 2024 to organizations like the Lost River Bluegrass Festival, the Klamath and Lake Counties Food Bank, and the Ross Ragland Theater. Big thanks to Pacific Power and the Pacific Power Foundation for coming aboard for this year of Henley baseball and softball. The count is 0-1 to Luke Jennings at the plate for the Pirates. It'll be Jennings, Caden Sousa, and Caden Darcy due up for the Phoenix. The 0-1 swung on and missed. The count now 0-2. Carpenter has faced 12 batters and recorded 12 outs. The 0-2 is hit in the air, right side. Could be playable behind first, but Hamilton just runs out of room back there, and count will remain 0-2 to Luke Jennings. Henley has had to turn double plays in each of the last 2 innings to make sure Carpenter continues to face the minimum. But like I said, 12 up and 12 down so far for Mark Carpenter. Count is still 0-2 to Luke Jennings, who's 0 for 1 on the day, grounded out in the second. Pitch is another ground ball towards third. Up with it is Derek Cox. Has time to set his feet and throw on to first in time for the out. One away in the top of the fifth, and here's Caden Sousa, the pitcher for Phoenix. He'll look to help himself out a bit by getting a rally started in this inning. So far on the day, though, Sousa is 0 for 1. He grounded out towards second back in the second inning. Tacchini delivers the sign to Carpenter. Here's the pitch. It's a two-seamer that found the inner third. The count 0-1. Carpenter, the pitcher on the mound for Henley, looking to be honored here at Henley High School tomorrow as he gets ready for the 0-1. That is in there. The count 0-2. Mark Carpenter, along with 7 other Henley seniors, will be having a little bit of a, I suppose, press conference, college signing day thing where Carpenter will announce his commitment to play at the next level. As the 0-2 swung on and missed to Caden Sousa, strike 3, now 2 outs in the 5th inning. I'll give you the lineup of all of the Hornets that will be there in just a moment as Caden Darcy gets ready to step in. Pitch is in the zone, the count 0-1. So Carpenter will join Connor Brennan, Randy Benson, Jesus Flores from Falcon Heights, Natalie Hudson, Bailey Ladner, Brian Kabayan, and Emma Poe. The athletes who will be honored here at Henley High School tomorrow afternoon, announcing where they are playing at the next level next year. Of course, I've got a little sheet that tells me who's going where, but don't want to spill the beans for you too soon, just in case these kids haven't made the announcement themselves yet. Don't want to take the thunder away from them until we have this ceremony tomorrow, but should be a great time here at Henley High School. The count 2-1 to Caden Darcy. That pitch misses low. The count now 3-1. Darcy 0 for 1 today, grounded out in the second, but trying to be the 2-out base runner for the Pirates. It's Carpenter trying to find the zone here on a 3-1. Fouled straight back. The count is full, 3-2. Tall batting stance from the right side for Darcy as he awaits the 3-2 from Carpenter. Curveball swung on and missed. Carpenter battles back to strike out Darcy and keep the Pirates down in order in the 5th. To the bottom half we go. Phoenix trailing Henley 6-0 on 104.3 and 960 Sports and MyBasin.com.
It starts to warm up outside, it's time to tackle your lawn. And Kyle's Lawn Care is who to contact. Kyle's been doing lawn care in Klamath Falls for over 9 years. He offers a variety of services designed to make your life easier. Kyle's Lawn Care offers weekly mowing jobs, which includes mowing, edging, and blowing off sidewalks, snow removal, big cleanup jobs, dump runs, and more. At Kyle's Lawn Care, they strive to give each job their all and go the extra mile to exceed their customers' expectations. To get an estimate, you can call or text 541-281-3623. Kyle's Lawn Care.
Introducing Smith Bates Marcom Solutions, your trusted partner in marketing and communication. We specialize in crafting compelling campaigns, eye-catching graphics, and impactful branding materials.
Smith Bates is like working with dependable friends. They always help us build our professional image.
Through the innovative strategies that the team at Smith Bates suggested, we've been able to give the brand at Calor the boost that it desperately needed.
Unlock your potential with Smith Bates Marcom Solutions.
Have a new pitcher in for the Phoenix Pirates. It's the right-hander. Number 15 looks like Theo Hodgden. So I'll make the changes here on my notebook. We'll take a look at the output on the season for the right-hander Hodgden before we get any of the other changes for Phoenix done for you in just a minute. Hodgden making his 6th appearance of the season. Doesn't have any wins or losses. 6 2/3 previous innings pitched. Hodgden an ERA of 14.7. And again, it looks like we'll get the rest of the changes for Phoenix in just a moment. Hodgden will have to face Douglas, Carpenter, and Shively here in the 5th. Try to keep this game going. Henley has to score a few runs. They're a few runs away, rather, from the mercy rule ending. Hodgson going to try to keep his team in it. And let's see if I have the other changes ready to go for Phoenix, and we'll give you the final numbers on Sousa in just a bit. So it looks like Caden Sousa has moved over to first. Looks like also going to see Jennings over at third. I believe the middle infield staying the same for Phoenix. I think we have a new catcher as well. I'll try to make sure of that in just a moment as Ryan Douglas gets ready to step in. First pitch, hit in the air in the infield. Over there is Schiltz. He'll put it away for the first out. And so now back to the top of the Henley order. It is Mark Carpenter. Carpenter is 1 for 3 today. His one hit was a loud one. A solo homer in the first inning gave Henley a lead that they have not relinquished. Since then, though, Carpenter has flown out and reached on an error, although when he reached in the fourth, he did score. Here's the first pitch to him from Theo Hodgson. That one will miss low and away. The count is 1-0. Well, we have an opportunity here, trying to find you the final line score for Caden Sousa today. We'll get there after the 1-0 pitch to Mark Carpenter. That one misses outside. The count now 2-0 to Carpenter. For Sousa, he will exit the game after 4 innings pitched, gave up 8 hits, 6 runs, 5 of them earned. He walked 3 and struck out 1. The 2-0 to Carpenter will miss low. The count 3-0. Sousa threw 96 pitches, 51 of them for strikes, faced 26 batters in his final outing of the season, at least in the regular season. The 3-0 to Carpenter misses well outside. Carpenter aboard at first, and he takes a big turn around the bag, but will stay there. And this will bring up Connor Shively. Shively 3 for 3 today, 2 doubles and 2 RBIs. He is seeing the ball well during this one. 13 straight trips to first base, at least for Shively. On the move is Carpenter. The throw down is going to get by the shortstop, rattle around by the bag for a moment, but in safe with a steal is Mark Carpenter. Scoring position with 1 out. The pitch to Shively missed, and so he is ahead in the count, 1-0. After Shively in the Henley order, it's Jacoby Tacchini. Pitch to Shively. That one got him. And so Shively's on base again. Something you feel like you can count on at this point for the Hornets is Shively on first. Still 1 away. And this will bring up Jacoby Tacchini. Third hit batsman of the day for the Phoenix pitching staff. Only the first in relief for Hodgson. And we're ready to go with Tacchini at the plate. First pitch. High pop up first base side. Looks playable for the first baseman Sousa. He will make the catch for the second out. And here's Max Price with Shively at first and Carpenter at second. 2 away, bottom of the 5th inning, a game in which Henley leads 6-0. Set is Hodgson. The pitch. It's a fastball that found the zone upstairs. The count 0-1, about letter high over the plate. Price didn't like that pitch, but now down in the count 0-1. He'll have to regather and get ready. Here's the pitch. Carpenter again on the move. Both runners actually on the move. As that pitch missed low, both runners advance. 2 in scoring position now for Max Price in a 1-1 count at the plate as Carpenter to third and Shively to second. The delivery is a curveball that maybe a slider misses high. The count 2-1 from Hodgson. Theodore Hodgson, a freshman out there for Phoenix. The 2-1. That one misses. The count now 3-1 to Max Price. On deck is Bo Pyle. Set again is Hodgson. That one misses high and the bases are loaded. A walk delivered to Price. In steps Bo Pyle. Pyle 1 for 1 today, although before we get to see his at-bat, Coach Hutchinson out of the Phoenix dugout. We'll see if they wind up making a move with the bases loaded and 2 outs. Want to remind you that our broadcast today and every day here on MyBasin.com is brought to you in part by Howard's Meat Center, where tradition meets innovation with every cut and every bite of Smokin' H barbecue. I got to say, I had Smokin' H barbecue for the very first time last week. Finally made it happen when they had some pulled pork sandwiches out at Oregon Tech, and it was everything I had hoped and dreamed. Very delicious pulled pork sandwiches down at Smokin' H Barbecue. You can grab them up near the Tap House by Oregon Tech, or check out Howard's Meat Center next to Les Schwab Tires on South 6th Street. Bo Pyle getting ready to bat for Henley. The right-hander hits with the bases loaded and 2 away in the bottom of the 5th inning, a game in which Henley already leads 6-0. Here's a bouncing ball out towards short. Phillips up with it. He'll throw on to first. The throw will be in time. And for the 3rd time today, Henley leaves the bases loaded. No runs in the 5th, no hits either, but again, they leave 3 stranded. They'll take a 6-run lead to the 6th inning here on 104.3 and 960 Sports and MyBasin.com.
What rhymes with great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start? Here, in the classroom. On the stage.
In the pool.
On the field.
Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends.
Yeah! Be great.
Participate.
At MyBasin.com, we bring you the power of local radio,
The pace and reach of social media,
The information of 24-hour news,
and the excitement of local sports.
We do this with a team of radio professionals that is second to none.
Klamath Falls is a community that we love and a place that we are proud to call home.
Klamath Falls deserves a media group that is as committed to you as you are to Klamath Falls.
MyBasin.com is your go-to place for news,
sports, events, and everything going on at home in Klamath Falls.
Getting ready now for the top of the 6th inning between the Pirates and the Hornets. Our score in the 6th inning is 6-0 with Henley in front. For the Hornets, 6 runs on 7 hits. 1 error. They've left 11 runners on base today. For Phoenix, no runs on 2 hits. The Pirates have committed 4 errors, and they have not yet left a runner on base today. Smart Carpenter gets ready for the 6th inning of his start. He will go up against Caden Cunningham, followed by Eric Calhoun and Luca Petrone. First pitch is called a ball. The count 1-0. Like I said, score here 6-0 Henley in front of Phoenix. In the Skyline Conference Championship softball game going on behind us, the 1-0 is a curveball. The count now even. The score is 4-3 with Henley in front in the 6th inning. And again, with a Henley win over there at the softball complex, they will be the Skyline Conference champions. A loss puts that into a bit of jeopardy. But again, up by a run against Phoenix in the 6th over there. We'll be sure to keep you updated on that score as we move along. Count to Caden Cunningham is a ball and 2 strikes. He looks to lead things off for Phoenix in the 6th inning. Pitch from Carpenter, bouncing ball out towards second. Price on a couple hops. Throw on to first is there for the first out. Now in steps Eric Calhoun for the Phoenix Pirates grounded into a 4-6-3 double play in his only other at-bat in the third inning. Mark Carpenter cruising right along here into the sixth. Retired the last 5 batters. First pitch is in there, the count 0-1. So far, Carpenter has faced the minimum, 16 up and 16 down so far. The 0-1 is in there for a strike, the count 0-2. Like I said, Carpenter's needed a little bit of help from his defense to keep that statistic going. A couple double plays. Nice job by the middle of the infield today for Henley to turn 2 double plays today. As Carpenter looks for the put-away pitch against Calhoun. The 0-2 looked at for strike 3. That'll be the second out in the 6th inning. Now, Carpenter's usually got that put-away, sit-down stuff, but that is his 6th strikeout today. No, pardon me. His 5th strikeout today here in the 6th inning. Now, it's still, I say that, and I'm like, well, Mark isn't striking out as many batters as he usually does. And then I count him. Okay, it's 6 in 6 innings so far. That's not so bad. Here's a ground ball left side. That will get through into the outfield. And a 2-out base knock for Luca Patron will get him on. For the top of the Phoenix order is Connor Cunningham. And it looks like we actually got someone else hidden in here now for Phoenix. I believe this is actually Hodgson. I want to double-check that to make sure here in a minute as he came in and replaced the catcher. I thought that might have been the case, but wouldn't have been able to tell until we got to this at-bat here with 2 outs in the 6th inning. Throw over to first, and back safely is Patron after the single the other way with 2 outs in the inning. Pitch to Hodgson is called a strike. Count is 0-1, and it is Hodgson there for Phoenix. Taking a look at the season for him, batting .091, 3 hits in 33 at-bats this year. The 0-1 finds the zone. The count 0-2 with 2 outs in the 6th inning. Runner on first is Luca Patron. On deck is Sam Schiltz if the inning continues. Carpenter hoping to stop it here with the 0-2. Gets a swinging strike, a drop third strike. Takini will have to get up and throw on to first in time, which he does to end the inning. No runs, 1 hit for Phoenix. And they leave 1 stranded. As we go to the bottom of the 6th, Henley leads 6-0 on 104.3 and 960 Sports. Live free video on mybasin.com.
So lonely, I just sigh and moan. Seems like I've been waiting forever, wondering if you're coming home. I just saw your face, I know you're coming home. I swear there is no place home. And then I heard your voice. I know you're coming home. I know you're coming home.
This is where unconditional love and immeasurable happiness reside. This is home. Coltwell Banker, where home begins.
Gearing up for the bottom of the 6th inning on 104.3 and 960 Sports and mybasin.com. Our coverage of Henley baseball continues for the Skyline Conference finale today. It's Henley who leads Phoenix 6-0. And due up will be Derek Cox, Corbin Hamilton, and Carson Sims. That is 6, 7, and 8 in the Henley order in the 6th inning. Check of the score over at the softball complex. It looks like it is still 4-3. Henley in front of Phoenix in the Skyline Conference Championship game. They are about to get started in the bottom of the 6th inning there. All right, here's the first pitch to Derek Cox. An off-speed pitch rolled foul down the third base side. The count is 0-1. Cox so far today without a hit, but he's reached base twice. Once on a fielder's choice in the first inning, and once on an error in the fourth. The 0-1 is a curveball. Line drive, left field, base hit. Big turnaround first, but Cox will stay there. A leadoff single for the Henley third baseman brings up Corbin Hamilton. Corbin Hamilton has reached base a pair of times today, but he's 1 for 2 overall. He did walk in the first inning, singled in the third, and popped out to first. There's the line score for Corbin so far today. Hodgson comes set for a while, now delivers home to Hamilton. The pitch misses outside, 1-0. Corbin Hamilton could be a candidate to get the ball in the final game of the season for Henley coming up on Thursday. As Theo Hodgson set with the 1-0. The pitch is swung on and missed. Count even now, a ball and a strike. And even after the league season concludes today, Henley has one more game on Thursday at 4:30 on the road against Cascade Christian, and that is it's a great game for Henley to schedule heading into the postseason, as the 1-1 misses upstairs, trying to backpick Cox at first, but he's back safely. Count is 2-1 to Hamilton at the plate. And just to give an idea of who Henley is playing on Thursday, the Cascade Christian Challenges, head coached by Mr. Kevin Schaefer, an assistant is Nate Mabin. Those names for baseball folks here in Southern Oregon probably jump off the page at you. The 2-1 is going to miss. The count 3-1. Of course, Kevin Schaefer has made multiple stops around Southern Oregon. I first met him when he was the head coach of the Grants Pass Cavemen back in 2017 and 18. And, of course, Nate Mabin is one of the greatest baseball coaches in recent history out of Medford, as the 3-1 misses low to Corbin Hamilton. That'll put Cox to second and Hamilton aboard at first, bringing up Carson Sims. And Cascade Christian has used that great coaching staff to turn it into a 20-5 overall record this season. They're the number 2 best team in the 3A classification. The first pitch to Sims, a fastball misses high. The count 1-0. Sims bats with 2 on and nobody out. He is 1 for 3 today. He flew out in the first and fourth innings for mixing in an RBI single for him in the third. And quick meeting on the mound between the pitcher and catcher. In the meantime, Carson Sims will head over and have a chat with Coach Sean Teeters. I just learned back on Friday that Coach Sean Teeters will be taking over as head coach of the Klamath Falls Falcons American Legion baseball team. He'll be assisted by the majority of the Henley coaching staff, Joe Tacchini and Craig Connor and Pete Whistler, while he's able to be over there, will I'm sure make appearances as well. But the Klamath Falls Falcons opened their season on June 8th against Cascade Christian. The Falcons have dropped out of Triple-A Legion ball this year to play Single-A Legion ball, but that's maybe a story for another time. The first pitch to Sims is going to be taken inside, down around the knees. I believe the count now 1-0 to Sims with 2 on and no outs. Pitch misses high. Count is 2-0 to Sims. But again, just to go back to what's to come for Henley, Thursday should be a really great game. Really high-powered offenses going at each other between Cascade Christian and the Hornets. 3-0 on the way to Sims. And he will take ball 4, and the bases are loaded with nobody out for Ryan Douglas. Derek Cox advances to third, Hamilton to second. Of course, Sims on first. Douglas to bat now. Looking at Douglas so far in this game, he flew out in the second, was hit by a pitch and scored in the fourth, and flew out in the fifth. He's led off now 3 innings for Henley. Been the table setter today, but now a chance to try to get a couple runs across. Here he pops one out foul behind home plate. The count is 0-1. different approach between when you lead off an inning and you're trying to get runs across. Right now, I mean, really any ball put into play should score a run. Unless it's hard hit to the corners, you say, well, they might decide to throw home as the 0-1 misses, the count 1-1. But just anything in play. You don't care if it's hard hit to center field. You don't care if it's a ground ball to second. You don't care if it's a weak roller to the pitcher. Just anything in play with a speedy guy like Derek Cox at third, it should score him. The 1-1 is a line drive left field, and that one is over the head of the left fielder, Darcy. It'll be extra bases, and it'll probably clear the bases. 1 run is in. 2 runs are in. Sims will score all the way from first. And a 3 RBI double puts Henley knocking on the door of a Mercy Rule victory here in the bottom of the 6th inning. They now lead 9-0. Three RBI double for Ryan Douglas, his first hit of the day. And we've got, not quite sure what the holdup is before Carpenter's at bat here. Standing at second is Douglas. Still nobody out in the inning. And it looks as though, okay, so I think we're trying to find out, did the runner who was rounding third actually touch third? And so after all that, where the runner on third or maybe not or on second, whatever the case was in the confusion, we're just going to go ahead and offer an intentional walk to Carpenter with nobody out. The winning run stands in scoring position for Connor Shively. Now, I'm not sure if Phoenix has been watching Connor Shively as of late, but I can't believe I'm saying this. I'd rather face Carpenter at this point as Shively takes the first pitch, the count outside, 0-1. Shively has reached base in each of his last 14 at-bats. The 0-1 to him here. Line drive right field. That is over the head of the right fielder, Calhoun. They are going to wave around Douglas. No throw in, and the Henley Hornets walk it off in the 6th inning. A 10-0 victory, and we will wrap it up for you coming up next. The Henley Hornets unbeaten in the Skyline Conference regular season, a perfect 16-0. We'll talk about it in just a bit. Stick with us here on 104.3 and 960 Sports and mybasin.com.
Parent of a high school athlete, I've given up trying to get pictures of my kid playing sports. It's nearly impossible to take pictures and enjoy the game. There is a solution, though. God's Gifts Photography attends high school sporting events in the Basin to take individual and team action photos at a great price. Search God's Gifts 2 on Facebook to learn more. They'll come and capture your athlete in action, creating those frameable lifelong memories so you can watch and just enjoy the moment. Call 541-281-2206 to get your athlete on their schedule. God's Gifts Photography.
Threads. There are many threads that run through our region. There are churches and schools and Little League teams that bring us together and bind us into communities. There are roads and cars, there are houses and jobs and businesses, all woven together to make the fabric of our communities. There are financial threads that are part of that tapestry as well. For over 80 years, it's been our pleasure to be headquartered here, providing financial services to generations of our friends and neighbors. From that first savings account, to retirement planning, and all of the cars and houses and groceries in between, we keep your money local, investing it back into our communities, adding more threads to the fabric to make our communities stronger. Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union. Find your path.
At mybasin.com, we bring you the power of local radio,
the pace and reach of social media,
the information of 24-hour news,
and the excitement of local sports.
We do this with a team of radio professionals that is second to none.
Klamath Falls is a community that we love and a place that we are proud to call home.
Klamath Falls deserves a media group that is as committed to you as you are to Klamath Falls.
MyBasin.com is your go-to place for news,
sports, events, and everything going on at home in Klamath Falls.
Final score from Rosser Field, the Henley Hornets defeat the Phoenix Pirates 10-0. For Henley, 10 runs on 10 hits in the ballgame. 11 hits in the ballgame. Henley committed one error, and they left 11 runners on base today. For Phoenix, no runs on 3 hits. The Pirates committed 4 errors, and they left 1 runner on base today. The winning pitcher going the distance for Henley is Mark Carpenter. In 6 innings pitched, gave up 3 hits, no runs. He struck out 6. The losing pitcher today would be Caden Sousa, who pitched 4 innings, gave up 8 hits, 6 runs, 5 of them earned. He walked 3 and struck out 1. Pacific Power play of the day today. I got to go with the long bomb. Mark Carpenter with a leadoff home run to get this thing started is my Pacific Power play of the day. But I think the man with the overall best performance of the day was once again Connor Shively, going 4 for 4 with 3 RBI and 2 runs scored. Shively has reached safely in each of his last 15 at-bats. That includes his 4 for 4 performance today. Other notables for Henley include singles for Max Price, Bo Pyle, Derek Cox, Corbin Hamilton, and Carson Sims. Ryan Douglas finished 1 for 3 with 3 RBI on a double in the ball game. For Phoenix, only a couple guys with base hits today. It was Sam Schultz, Caden Cunningham, and Luca Petrone, the guys who got hits today for the Phoenix Pirates. With this win, the Skyline Conference champion Henley Hornets advanced to 21-3 on the regular season. They finish 16-0 in the Skyline Conference. They have not yet been beaten now in 3 full seasons. In the Skyline Conference, they will take a league championship and a top seed to the OSAA state playoffs. Meantime, for Phoenix, they wind up with a 9-12 overall record, 7-9 in the Skyline Conference. They will advance to the play-in round for a shot at the 16-team OSAA state tournament bracket. Henley has one more non-playoff game. It is an endowment game on Thursday at Cascade Christian. Lithium Driveway Field number 9, Old U.S. Cellular. It's at 4:30 first pitch on Thursday. Hope to see you there, but if you can't make it out, that's all right. We'll have the broadcast for you right here on mybasin.com and 104.3 and 960 Sports. Once again, the final score today, 10-0. Henley defeats Phoenix. I want to thank everybody who made today's broadcast possible. We'll start with both head coaches. Of course, Sean Teeters here at Henley, always a gracious host. Bill Hutchinson over at Phoenix High School, head coach there, always fantastic to work with in the Pirates dugout. Wishing the Pirates a safe trip home and good luck in the play-in round. Also want to thank the athletic director on site today, Mr. Luke Hammond, for making sure I got a place to be, and our official scorer today, Rob Sims, for making sure I know what's going on out there on the field. And a special thanks to you for joining us, whether it was today or it's been all season long for Henley Baseball. Appreciate you sticking around, because without you, I'm just a guy talking to myself out here. So thanks again for joining us for another season and edition of Henley Baseball. Final score once more in this one. The Hornets picking up a win against Phoenix, 10-0. Thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Josh Eldridge saying so long from Rosser Field at Henley High School.